All right, as we take a look at your neighborhood forecast, we have heat and humidity to look forward to here to close out the week. That means higher heat and humidity as those temperatures are going to be cranking up to near 100 degrees here by Friday afternoon, but the heat index is going to be a lot higher than that. So let's enjoy another nice evening before we have to deal with that. Temperatures tonight, Hartford, Cecil County, as we go into your neighborhood and on your corner. We're looking at temperatures into the mid to upper 60s, around 70 degrees. So warmer than it's been the previous few nights. There are going to be some parts of Cecil County getting down to the mid 60s, but you're going to see a lot more 70s showing up here overnight. And then the same thing again tomorrow night. And by Friday, that's when those temperatures, as I mentioned, will be getting close to 90 degrees, close to 100 degrees, I should say, well over 90 degrees. Right now in the metro, we're looking at temperatures right around 85 degrees for Rosedale, Catonsville 83, Woodstock 81, Ellicott City 82, Falston 82, and 82 also in Abingdon. And across the rest of the area from Washington County over to Caroline County in the Eastern Shore, we're looking at readings primarily into the 80s. But the dew point that has been very comfortable lately into the 50s and 60s, starting to creep up, and it's going to be back into that extremely humid category here by Friday. You're going to be in the thick of it by then. You're certainly going to feel it. But enjoy this evening. Skies partly cloudy to mostly clear. Temps in the 80s, falling into the low to mid 70s here by later on tonight, and then maybe a couple areas in the upper 60s, but most of it should be right around 70 in the morning. High pressure now beginning to slide away. The wind's now turning more out of the south. That's helping to bring that humidity back to the area. Big dome of high pressure aloft. All these heat advisories and excessive heat warnings right under the center of that area of high pressure aloft. There it is right there. And it's going to nose into our region on Friday. That's why our temperature is going to go up, and they will stay hot for the first part of the weekend. Then next week, it's going to start pushing back west. So this is where the real nasty heat will be end of next week. Meanwhile, we've got a trough of low pressure that's going to develop over the eastern U.S. That's going to send some cooler air down from Canada, so it won't last that long. We're talking about just a few days before things start to cool off heading into next week. But the worst days, Friday, Saturday, and then we're going to see a rebound coming up on Tuesday into Wednesday. So here's your neighborhood forecast across the area tomorrow. Cherry Hill at 92. Curtis Bay here getting up to around 95 degrees, 90 for Federal Hill. So it really depends on where you are. We're going to be well into the 90s in some areas, into the upper 80s to around 90 in other locations. But you can see the Eastern Shore tomorrow right around 90 degrees, southern Maryland into the mid to upper 80s. First alert 7-day forecast, we're going with 91 here for tomorrow. Again, it looks like the worst of the weather, though, is going to be on Friday, and that's when the heat index is going to be getting into that 105 to maybe 108 range with a high of 97 degrees. Saturday, we're going to be watching for the potential for flash flooding and severe thunderstorms. Same thing on Sunday. So we've got alert days for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for that potential there. But then we stay in the 90s through next week. And again, it's after next Wednesday that will start to cool down. Stefan, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Derek. On